Hello, and welcome to Pod of the Week, a place where I get to share my thoughts on pods I think you need to know about. It's Podathon Day, yes. And no, it's not the end of showcasing amazing stories on the African continent, but I want to share my story and my podcast with you because this is a special episode which comes into alignment with this amazing week with all podcasters around the world, and it's called Podathon. Now, Podathon, if you don't know, is where podcasters from around the world donate an episode, and any proceeds that is derived from the viewing of the podcast or any awareness derived from the viewing of the podcast goes towards those particular organizations. And my contribution to this amazing initiative is things we learn on a Monday morning and a great conversation I had with Clint.
I think firstly understanding that burnout was a thing that stems from our parents. We saw our parents performing on a level that was phenomenally great all the time, and they often came home and they were burnt out and they didn't understand that, and we always saw them as busy, and so we thought busy equals productive equals more money in the bank. And so when we came into the corporate environment or the work environment, I adopted the same ideology. However, I think what matters more is being able to say the amount of effort or the least amount of effort and the highest amount of return.
Now, Clint is a friend of mine. I know him for a few years, and in fact, we've done business together. You may have seen pictures of us together. But I thought, let me engage with someone who's on the back end of helping businesses grow. I guarantee you, when you have a conversation with him, if you haven't had a business idea, you might generate one, or you are stuck in your thinking, or there's a block, sort of a ideation block or a business blockage. He's able to help you find ways around it, or actually remove the blockage and help you along that journey. Yeah, so Clint's claim to fame, or Clint's background, he actually helps small businesses, small to medium businesses, and in some cases large businesses, build out their business journey, look at the roadblocks and help them navigate to become successful, profitable, and just thinking beyond themselves. And that's what the conversation we had on Things We Learn on a Monday Morning. We talk about legacy, we talk about building a successful life outside of business, but what does it look like on the African continent, on the South African landscape, and what can we do to be people of legacy, people of success, but building beyond ourselves. So I love the conversation. It's a nice conversation. You can catch the podcast on YouTube or Iono.fm for the audio lovers, and it's just a fascinating conversation, and hopefully it's going to be one of many more conversations.
So I've adopted that philosophy. Lesser effort with high returns. There were certain days I was super busy, but it didn't result in money in my bank account. There were days when I was not busy, someone would call me, they need something, and I would apply minimal effort because I've had prepared certain things for that pathway, submit the proposal, submit the information, and it returns with high amounts of effort. So I started understanding that maybe my logic around business was incorrect. I thought I had to be busy. I thought I had to be there at 8 o'clock. I thought I had to leave at 7 o'clock in the evening. But now I have flipped it around and saw, how do I look at my opportunities differently? And how do I have a conversation around and understanding that this amount of effort is going to yield this amount of return. So I always look at the return in mind. And unfortunately, a lot of people say, you shouldn't look at the return. I'm now at a point where I'm whatever makes the bank account go ching, I am there for that at the right amount of time.
So if you're looking for a podcast episode that not only contributes to a bigger ecosystem, a bigger reason for existing, then and also you want to understand how businesses in South Africa or how people in South Africa can build successful lives in business and beyond, then this is the podcast episode for you. So remember, podcasts are not for some, they're for everyone.